Coco, don't you start, girl. You guys, let me make sure I'm on Facebook. Let me see. Give me a second. I usually like to just hop right on in for Funky Finance Friday. Okay, there we go. I'm live on IG. Let's see. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, good. I am live. Cool. And why does my hat look so dingy? But anyway, listen, I'm not here for all of that. I'm here actually, this is what I'm here to talk about, right? How you can be rich, but you don't have to look rich, okay? Whatever looking rich means, okay? So I want to talk to you guys today on this Funky Finance Friday. I wanted to make sure that I was live both on my Facebook page and here on IG as well. Give me a second and give them maybe a minute for people to come in, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started because most of you guys watch this for the on the replay anyway, right? Most of you guys watch for the replay. But the song today, y'all, this is the paid in full edition. Okay, this is the paid in full. You see my shirt here is paid over being popular. Okay, you see that paid over popularity. This new age of social media, boy, especially a few years ago, oh my gosh, it was all about showing out, showing wealth, creating this whole illusion of when black people get some money. When black people get a little bit of money, they don't know how to act. Let me tell you who black people are. Me, me. I remember when I first started making money a long time ago. This was a long time ago. The first time, right? Because I lost it all. Me and my husband, we lost it all, right? Because we was out here trying to look rich and went broke. You know how you get excited. You know, they call it new money, right? They call it new money. So this is the paid in full edition, right? This is about silent money. So on your day to day, and when you get in your car or you in your office, whatever you're doing, hanging out with your family. Because I know yesterday was, I don't call it a holiday. It was the National Day of Mourning, and many people gathered with family and friends. So as you're whatever you're doing today, play paid in full by Eric B and Rakim. But like I said, I want to talk about silent money. Now, how you're gonna see me looking up and down because I'm on both screens here. But we're talking about be rich but look broke. Okay, and we're gonna talk about my hat. Okay, y'all see my hat? It says silent money makers. I have trademarked the title silent money because that's what I'm about. Getting to the money, getting to the paper offline, being paid in full offline. Everything does not have to be made online. So listen, Rakim said it best, right? He said, I ain't no joke. And baby, listen, neither is your money. Neither is your money. So welcome you guys to Funky Finance Friday, where I really, my goal here every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on IG and my personal Facebook page. You'll find it. I always require the blue check, which I'm way more active on. I have almost 10,000 followers over there. Super active on there, always have been. But this is why I just like to come for 15 minutes and just educate, elevate, and this is where we just kind of get paid without losing our minds, losing our savings or our future. So today's vibe, like I said, it's about silent money. I'm rocking my popular, being paid over being popular hoodie and my silent money makers hat. This is why, because too many people are out here going broke. No, you know what I'm saying? Trying to look rich. If you agree, put a heart. If you agree, put a heart, right? Or a thumbs up. Too many people are out here going broke, trying to look rich. And that's fine. Me too, right? I had to learn from that mistake. But growing up, really, I remember I had people who looked like they didn't have much. These were like not necessarily family members, but family friends. They looked like they didn't have much, but they owned everything. You get what I'm saying? Including my mother. But, I know I always talk about my mom like she was just the perfect person, but she had her flaws. But my mom, I'm telling you, she set a lot of good examples that I utilize today in my own life and teach, teach everyone, including my own family. But they didn't have these people that I'm talking about, they didn't have any chains, they didn't have designer on every weekend. Nothing wrong with that, okay? I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, okay? Because you do you, right? No flashy talk, but had paid off homes, they had cash value policies, they had retirement accounts and business assets that spit off, income while they slept. Okay, that's that silent money. Every time I'm about to work with somebody new in my brand management agency, that's one of the very first things that I ask them is, how are you making money while you sleep? Okay, so that's the spirit behind silent money. Forget about this camera up here. I gotta stop trying to look at myself, right? I forget. But you don't really announce wealth, you build it. So Rakim, he said he's thinking of a master plan. And that right there is where most people fall short. Okay, that's where most people fall short. A lot of people they don't have a plan, but they have purchases, right? They have the vibes, they look good. They have the IG aesthetics and all of that, but there's really no real wealth strategy. Okay, but it's never too late to develop this wealth strategy. It's never too late. You have to utilize what you don't know, right? You have to learn what you don't know, and then you got to put things into place. You got to execute. So again, how to be rich and look broke, right? So I'm gonna just break this down into some really digestible pieces for you guys. Really, really simple, right? So first, you gotta protect first and flex later. Okay, because nothing wrong with flexing. Okay, nothing wrong with a little flex. But you got to protect it first. If you don't have insurance, you don't have wealth. You have wishes. Okay. Silent money people, they understand that before you buy the outfit, that you got to secure the policy, you guys. So you got to have life insurance. It's so funny that I meet so many people who are out here trying to get it, and having a little success here and there, but their families aren't protected. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have just the smallest of smallest things in place. And so I want you guys to make sure that this is something that you are making sure that you have in place for so many reasons, not just the death benefit of life insurance, but the life benefits of life insurance. Okay. IULs, for example, they're great. They're IULs. I know you guys have heard about them because I talk to people all the time during my wealth health exams and say, I've heard about it, but nobody, they always want to gatekeep the info on what an index universal life insurance policy is, right? They always want to gatekeep it. I'm like, I mean, you could Google it. I'm at the end of the day, right? But an IUL is basically a whole life insurance policy that has living benefits, meaning you can utilize some of that money while you're still living. For example, if there's a chronic illness or something like that, you can tap into it and get paid, as well as, of course, having the death benefit. There's compounding interest, right? So that's just something I just want to share. I'm not going to dive. I don't want to dive too deep into that because you can research that, or you can talk to me and I can break it down as it relates to your specific financial goals. Okay, because keep that in mind too. A lot of times people are giving out information and it's just really general, but it's not until you talk to someone about your specific situation where you'll get the real answers. Okay. So another thing that you got to understand about protecting is having the proper beneficiaries. Okay. You have to make sure that you're choosing someone that is not tied there. They don't have personally a lot of debt and liens. And I'm sharing this because this is real life for me right now. One of my family members left a lot of assets in her trust, and the trustee and beneficiary and all that is someone that got liens, tax liens, and debt, and got creditors chasing them down, and you get what I'm saying. So you have to be extremely um, selective. Because once that money goes to that beneficiary, it becomes their asset now, and somebody can come for that. Okay, so of course, ways to protect that is through the proper trust setup. But overfunding is another way to protect yourself, right? Again, that's that compound interest. I don't know if you guys saw the post just recently, I think it was yesterday, that Nick Cannon shared about, would you rather have $1 million today or a penny that doubles every day for the next 30 days, right? And most people's thinking, right, go to that $1 million today because it's quick, it's easy, that kind of thing. But when you look at compound interest, that penny that doubles every single day in 30 days is about $5.3 million. Okay, so this is how we have to look at these insurance policies as well, especially when you overfund them. Okay, and then asset protection, you guys. Asset protection is making sure that your wealth, that the wealth you're building, can't be taken, can't be touched, or threatened, right? And it's just basically how you protect today to secure for tomorrow. So one car accident, you guys, one illness, one unexpected life moment, and everything you flexed away and saved, right? I mean, it didn't save, could have been saved for your family. Okay, so just think about that. So there are policies that pay you back while you sleep. Remember, I was talking about that money where you get paid while you're sleeping. And this is that paid in full strategy that I like to talk about, right? You put money into your life insurance policies or your Roth IRAs, whatever it is, and that money pays you back tax free. It's protected. It's quietly compounding. Nobody sees it. Nobody knows about it, but your net worth is growing every single month. So if you want to talk about getting something in place like this for yourself, reach out to me. Assets over aesthetics. Listen, this is how I promise y'all. People think because they see my pictures and stuff, and don't get me wrong, I do like fashion. I am a little bougie. I do like nice things. I do, there's a certain lifestyle that I love because I was raised by a bougie mama. So there are certain things, right, that are aesthetically pleasing in my brand, and that's who I am. However, on a daily basis, this is how I show up. This is how I'll show up to a meeting. I don't care who I'm meeting with. This is who I am, okay? But my assets are protected. Can't nobody come get them. I don't care what they say, what they do, what they think they can do. Can't nobody come get my assets. They're protected. Can't nobody get them, no matter what. Okay. So silent money folks don't need validation, right? Because that's what aesthetics is. It's kind of like getting the likes and all of those things. But wealth is a feeling, y'all. Wealth is a feeling, it's not a display. And I just want you guys to understand that because there is that thing when you get that new money, you want to flex it, right? So there's so many examples of having assets over aesthetics that you can have that silent money, you guys. And I know you guys know this, but I'm just gonna break them down real quick, okay? Write these down and start looking at how you can make these type of investments in your lives so that you can grow that money silently. Rental income is one that's great income. A lot of my clients I work with have rental income. Whether they had a home and then they got married and then they still have that home and they're getting a little income. Honey, that money needs to be invested, not put in a savings account, but invested. Roth IRAs are great. Annuities are amazing. Business investments are also amazing. I know I've made people a lot of money this way with business investments, and some, well, one, we're taking a loss, but we're waiting, right? But it's a lot of money in business investments. Trust that protect your legacy, right? Like I talked about what I'm going through right now. These are important. And then saving, we do got to save, but we have to save with a strategy. And then paying down high interest debt first. Like that's so important, you guys. You can't build wealth if you're in debt, bad debt. Okay. So you can drive a 2014 car and still be a millionaire, right? You could wear a $15 hoodie and own three properties. You could be quiet and still be wealthy. Okay, so the popularity trap is huge, you guys. People are chased, being liked and things like that instead of being paid. And I want you guys to just think a little bit differently about what that looks like for you and your family. But popularity does not pay your retirement. Likes don't cover your long-term care. The IG applause cannot bury you and leave inheritance to your children, you guys. So learn to love being underestimated. Silent money movers, they stay 10 steps ahead, y'all. That's for proper planning. So let me give you a couple habits and then I'll get out of here. Unless anybody has a question, I'll have to go in and look and see or want to say something. Habit number one is automatic wealth deposits. This is important. I shared with you guys last Friday a book called The Automatic Millionaire, which a book is crazy. I don't love everything about the book. There are some things that I would shift based on someone's personal situation like mine. At that time when I read it probably about 10 years ago. but it's a great book, right? So it's just like rent and your mortgage is like non-negotiable. Your wealth building needs to be the same way. So when you set things up automatically and you have a line item budget for like insurance, your Roth, your IUL, your debt payoff, your property taxes, your estate planning, all of those things, and it's just automatic before you even see it, it makes a huge difference. And don't look at it like, don't look at, oh, well, I need money for this, and where can I get it from? Let me go get it from one of my investments. No, you go and you make the money, okay? Don't take it. Let it compound. Let it grow. Okay. So every month, though, like I said, this automatic wealth is on autopilot. Facebook, IG is tripping. It's on autopilot, right? So it's money moving silently. The second habit is tell your money where to go, you guys. Tell it where to go, not where it went. Okay. A budget isn't punishable. It's the punishment is really alignment. Okay. Okay. A budget is important. I myself, I'm not big on budget. Thank God my husband is. That you gotta have that balance in your relationship, okay? But it's alignment, right? It's your master plan, right? As Rakim said, okay? So come into a habit of creating a budget and putting your money on automatic deposits to build your investments. Okay, so that's all I wanted to share, you guys. So listen, there is nothing sexy about being broke. I've been there, and it's not. People say money don't make you happy. I say bullshit. I say bullshit. I say bullshit. Broke don't make you happy either. Okay, being broke, being anyway. But what is sexy, y'all? What is sexy? Having your kids' future funded, having a policy that pays you tax free, being able to walk away from a job, right? Because you're financially solid. Being ungoogleably wealthy, I think, is sexy. The kind of wealth that nobody can see, but everybody can kind of feel it. And in this economy, you guys, you need strategy, not stuff. You need policies, not popularity. You need solid money, not loud debt. So the first step into this, you guys, if you don't have any of these things in place or you want somebody to look over something, me and my team will be happy to do that for you. Silent money starts with your wealth health exam. You always get your exams. You always, get your health checkups for yourself. We got to do those wealth health checkups as well on an annual basis. So it's simple. It's a powerful appointment where we look at what you have, what you need, and what you can start building right now. Judgment free, because listen, I have been in every situation. Okay, I have been in every situation. So there is no judgment. It's all about empowerment. It's all about education because when you know better, you do better. And then sometimes with things changing so much, you may already have things popping. Like your stuff may already be looking really good right now, right? But with things changing, there may be something we could do. You may be one of my clients on her 401k, she was paying a lot in administration fees. Sorry, she was paying a lot of money and didn't even know. She said, I didn't even realize I was paying that much. So guess what we're doing? We're moving that over to a Roth IRA where she does not have to pay any administration fees. So now she's saving more money. Okay. She's having more money for herself. Okay, so you can click the link in my bio, or you can put the word paid in the comments. And again, let's get this going because it's a lifestyle, it's strategy, it's legacy. You guys remember, wealth is built quietly. It's protected intentionally and passed down strategically. So you don't need to announce your moves, you guys. You just secure them. So thank you guys so much, you guys. Happy Funky Finance Friday. I'll see you guys next Friday, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. All right, Ari Squires. Peace, y'all. Yeah. Oh, I gotta put a caption on that. Let me do that after I get off Facebook. Bye, you guys.